Hello, hello, hello. It's that time of the year again. It's the 1111 portal, the manifestation portal. Um, we're in that time where we can use the energy to manifest a little bit stronger or whatever. It's just a very special time of the year. Um, I'm recording this a little bit earlier so that you have a chance to go back and listen to this teachings that I'm going to be putting through today so that you can take some time to kind of prepare for yourself for if you want to do things, maybe do something like what I'm doing. It'll give you a chance to kind of think about it and ruminate and think about what it is you want to and what kind of intentions you want to what kind of intentions you want to have moving into your 1111 to use this to harness this energy. My dog Neo is actually chewing on some chew toys. It's the only way to kind of keep him calm from coming up to me and constantly wanting to throw the ball while I'm recording. So I apologize if it's annoying, but um, it's the only way to get this video recorded. So I hope it doesn't bother you too much what Mr. Neo is doing. Um, he really likes to just sit down and just chew, 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 chew. He's really getting into his little bone thing. Um, okay, so 11/11 is a very special time of the year, and I always do something very special, and I want to like share all that with you. So let's get into it. I like to do a little bit of a backstory when it comes to 11/11. For those of you who are watching who don't understand maybe what this portal is and why it is such a good time to manifest, I'm just going to go over some different things about the 11/11 portal so that you can understand a little bit more. Okay, so the 11/11 portal is on November 11th, obviously. And it is considered by many in the spiritual and metaphysical community to be a high energy gateway or alignment portal for manifestation and intention setting. Well, this belief is not rooted in scientific evidence. It draws from numerology, astrology, and collective energetic symbolism. Here's a breakdown of why it's so thought to be so powerful. Okay, so we'll break it down with numerology, the power of 11. So 11 is known as a master number in numerology, associated with intuition, enlightenment, and spiritual awakening. When doubled, 11/11, its energy is said to amplify, representing balance between the physical and spiritual realms. Many believe that seeing 11/11 is a wake-up call or a cosmic reminder to align with their higher purpose and the energy of creation. So 11/11 is a portal or a gateway energy. On 11/11, the repeating digits are thought to open an energetic portal, a moment when the veil between dimensions or realities is thinner. It's said to be an ideal time for manifestational rituals, meditation, and setting intentions, as your vibration may align more easily with the universe's creative flow. So it's kind of like a time when you can use it and harness the energy to manifest. So it's a good time to do the manifestation rituals, the meditations, the special things that you might want to do that you might not do every day. You might, like for me, I do it like once a year. So I love this. Like it's like kind of like my New Year's Day. And then some describe it as an opportunity to recalibrate your frequency to match your desires. And that's what I use it for. So, because millions of people around the world meditate, pray, and visualize on 11/11, this collective consciousness that is created, many people focusing on love, abundance, or healing, is believed to amplify the energy fields and create a stronger vibrational signal to the universe. Even from the psychological perspective, this collective participation can reinforce belief, motivation, and focus, which are key ingredients for manifestation. The symbolisms of new beginnings. In many traditions, repeating numbers signify synchronicity, a reminder that you are in alignment with your soul's path. The 11/11 portal often coincides with themes of rebirth, clarity, and manifestation. It goes without saying that it's a time to release old energy and plant seeds for what's next. And there are many, many, many ways to work with this energy. Um, there's a lot of everybody does it differently. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Some people set they sit down and they set clear intentions. Maybe they write down what they want to manifest for the next coming year. Some people they meditate or visualize. They visualize their future self already living what they desire, type of thing. And then we've got people that light a candle or perform a small ritual to anchor in their intentions. They might they might create that, not just lighting a candle or performing a ritual, they might um, create a grid or something, or a vision board or something like that. And and then another way is to create some affirmations about how I am aligned with my highest timeline, or everything I desire is already mine, type of thing. So in essence, the 11/11 portal is symbolic. Its power lies in intention, awareness, and alignment. Whether viewed metaphysically as an energetic gateway or psychologically as a collective ritual of focus and belief, it provides a meaningful moment to reset and realign with your goals and spirit. So every year when the 11/11 portal arrives, I see it personally as a sacred moment of alignment. A time when the universe seems to pause and invite us to get clear about what we truly want to build and create in our lives. Because we are multidimensional beings of light. We are the builders of our own reality. We have the ability to create whatever it is we want. And this is a great time to just take some time out and realign and figure out what it is that you want to do. I do that myself. I've been actually doing that for the last couple of weeks, thinking about it. And I've been kind of thinking, how do I want to do this year? You know, like how do I want to bring in the 11/11, and what do I want to create and all this kind of stuff. So that's been kind of going on for me. And this is what always happens every year when it gets near the time. And for some reason, I started thinking about it in October. Like I was thinking about 11/11, like the end of September, the beginning of October. I started thinking about 11/11, and I don't know why. It was like usually I don't start thinking about it until it gets towards the end of October, but I was thinking about it a lot earlier this year. So, in numerology, the number 11 is known as a master number, representing intuition, spiritual awakening, and higher awareness. When the number repeats as 11/11, it's said to form an energetic gateway, a powerful mirror reflecting our own creative potential. And for me, this day is about becoming deeply intentional, stepping into the role of co-creator with life itself. It's about vision, clarity, and trust. And I take it very, very seriously. In fact, to the point where I was talking to a friend yesterday about how I want to go through this 1111 portal and what I had been being guided to do and all this. And I I sent her a text. We talk through the WhatsApp, and we just do talk texting. And I think it was like a 17-minute talk text where I was going over like how I kind of got to where I am this year and what I wanted to change and all this kind of stuff. And she sent me a talk text back this morning after she had listened to it, and she was telling me, you don't have to do all of that. And she was saying like that I'm making it too difficult and making it too hard. And it's very like the way I think about 1111 is very, very deep. Like, and she's like, you don't have to do any of that. But then after I thought about what she said, and then I said, yes, but I love this time. This is something that I love to do. It's a ritual that I've been doing since 2017 when I learned about what 1111 was and that there was a portal or a gateway. I didn't even know that that was a thing until like right around then. And it's kind of like other people when they get all excited about like decorating for Halloween and Easter and Christmas and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like for me it's like it's a special thing for me, and I love to do this ritual. And so like I basically said to her, it brings me joy to like do a video every year at 11:11. It brings me joy to like do my manifestation grid and sit down and do my intentions. And she's like, I just don't have time for that, like she doesn't have time for that. She just says, oh, whatever I need, just put it out to the universe and then it's be done. She's like, there's no need to do any of that. And that is perfectly fine. You don't have to do anything for 11:11. It's just that if you do want to do something, I hopefully will be able to spark some ideas and some give you some revelations around this. So that's where I'm coming from today. So a lot of information that I'm going to be talking about now after I show you how I used to manifest and how I used to like do my grid, which I'm going to be changing this year because I noticed some things. So what I what I want to say is you don't have to do any of this, but if you do want to do some of it, more power to you. I hope that you will get something out of this. If not, you can just turn the video off right now if you don't really care, and I won't be offended. Okay? Okay, so we're gonna get the old grid out. So I don't know, I think it was back in 2016 or so. I created this. It's a flower of life grid. It's made out of ceramic. It's a special gift that I made for myself. I put stars underneath it at the bottom. Let's see, when did I make it? I made it in 2017. And yeah, I made this, and I made a lamp as well with the sacred geometry on it. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. So once I made this and I started commemorating, because before I made this lovely flower of life grid, I'm gonna keep holding it up for a second. I just made like a vision board. Like every year I would like create a vision board because I used to go to this sound bath meditation every Tuesday, and they were talking about the 11:11, and that's when I was learning about the portal. And they showed that you could create like a vision board to kind of just get clear about what it is that you would like to bring in. And but so I use this grid like a vision board. So every year there's 7 spaces, there's 7 points, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the middle. And So what I normally do is I put something at each point with a crystal. So I put an intention, put what I would like to manifest. And then in the middle, I have like the activator one, an activator crystal that kind of goes along with it. And I will show you kind of like what I did, for instance, like what I did last year. So I get all these little pieces of paper. I have these like little pieces of paper that I put on to the vision board where I write onto it. Like I wanted to manifest creating retreat opportunities and grid work with others. And so, and I would put that onto the I put it onto the grid like this, like it's sitting onto the flower, and then I would put like a crystal on top of it to kind of go with it, type of a thing. And then I had one here. This was to help me. It was a successful launch for my book. And a successful launch for social media to get my book out to the world, which never really actually, it did kind of, I guess, happen. I still have, this is YouTube channel. It was like talking about getting speaking engagements and book signings and all this kind of stuff. That didn't happen. I sold one book so far this year, since I got it published, and I was on one podcast, and I did start up the social this channel, so, and I do have like over 60 people that have subscribed to it. So I guess I am getting there. Slowly but surely. So there's that one. And then I've been working with these Arcturian guides. They've been coming through. I had a experience last year in Glastonbury in a bathtub when I wasn't feeling very well, and I was in the bathtub doing some healing work, and then these Arcturian beings came in, and they came through. They activated me with some kind of symbol things. They were putting them down into my solar plexus while I was in the bathtub. And then they started giving me all this information. I ended up channeling a message in the bathtub. I happened to have my phone on there with me because I was had a music song list that I was playing when I was in the bathtub. So I grabbed that and I hit record and I started channeling this message. And they were telling me that they're going to be working with me going forward, and because I always get these different guides that work with me, and they were explaining, and so I wanted to have more time with these Arcturian guides to learn and expand on Galactic Mystery School knowledge type thing, because they told me I was initiated into Galactic Mystery School. So I have had a few more experiences, but I don't really tell anybody about them yet because I'm still embodying what's coming through and still working with the guides with that. And so I won't be sharing that. And it's going to be the second book. And I only just wrote the first book. So it'll be the second book before people will be learning about what I am learning with these Arcturian guides. And then I have one here. I have another little card that says to publish the book, which I did do. And I do want to get the audiobook going, but I haven't been working very hard on that. And then all that goes with it, the grids, because I have all of these like energy devices and stuff that I've created, and I explain all about them in the what you call it in the book. And so yeah, I wanted all of that to kind of like start happening, and to manifest enough supplies to have inventory of the stock of these, because they're like organite. I have to make organite pieces to go with them. And then I put more clay fun business. My just so that you know, um, I have my partner and I, my husband and I, we have, well, I guess you could say what we call it, a clay fund business. It hasn't really been running since my partner had a stroke in 2019, and we haven't really been running hardly at all. And so I wanted to manifest more parties and things like that on a regular basis, but that never happened. And then I wanted to manifest hypnosis sessions because I've now certified to do hypnosis. And so I wanted to manifest more hypnosis sessions that would be more regular, so that I could get a little bit more financial abundance. And I did. I did have a few hypnosis sessions last year. And then the health and fitness and the well-being page. This one, I wanted to lose 10 kg. That definitely didn't happen. Um, I wanted to be stronger, which did happen because I have been doing weight circuit training, and it says learn Tai Chi, but I ended up learning Qigong. And and then I have a thing on here for my son to be accepted in his program that he wanted to do for college, which he ended up getting accepted into. And so what happens is then you have all these little pieces of paper that go onto the thing, and then you have a crystal on top of each one. And for years, I've been doing this. Every year, I figure out what it is, and I sit down a couple weeks beforehand and I figure out what I want to manifest for the next year. And I write down my intentions, I place my crystals, and I visualize what I want. And I believe that I was doing everything right, that I could see it, feel it, affirm it, but the results that I've gotten have been very slow and sometimes non-existent. So this is where I want to kind of like move over and talk about how I want to change, okay? How I want to change going forward, the way that I do this ritual. So I've been thinking over the last couple of weeks, like I told you, I was kind of thinking about I got my earbud there. I was thinking about like what I wanted to manifest and how I wanted to do this year for a few weeks now. And like I told you, I started thinking about that like in September. And and then it kind of hit me the other day. I woke up and I had kind of like this revelation that I needed to shift my meditative practices towards like this ritual, this manifestation practice towards what I have learned about through the Hermetic Lens, the teachings from the Emerald Tablets, because I was given all these teachings when I had been working with the Emerald Tablets a few years ago, and some of it I've written into the book about the principles. And I realized all of a sudden that it wasn't that the ritual didn't work. It was that I was trying to manifest from the outside in. I was asking the universe to give me something instead of realizing that I am part of the universal mind myself. So the Hermetic teachings reminded me, as above, so below, as within, so without. Manifestation isn't about commanding the universe. It's about aligning with it, allowing your consciousness to mirror divine order. It is here where you move from I asked to I become, or I became. So let's explore how manifestation changes when viewed through the seven Hermetic principles and the universal laws. A little deeper, and then I will show you how I implemented them in my 11/11 ritual this year. Okay, so I hope that this isn't too deep. When I was talking to another friend yesterday about this, she was like, whoa, this is deep. So If it's deep, I'm sorry, but I'm a deep girl. I go deep. So here we go. So the principle of mentalism, that's the first principle. And it's called all is mind. The traditional way, like it's the universe is a mental, it's all about the universe is a mental creation of the all. So the traditional way that we manifest, the way that we do this without like using the Hermetic teachings, you visualize and affirm what you want as if it is already real. This is what we're taught like in the law of attraction with the secret and all of that. And this could be the reason why it doesn't actually work sometimes when we because you're trying to visualize and affirm something as if it's already there in front of you. So you realize in the Hermetic refinement, you realize you are not manifesting within the universe. You are manifesting as the universe. Instead of saying, universe, bring me this, you hold the awareness that your consciousness is the universe in motion. So manifestation becomes less about asking and more about becoming a resonant field for what is true in the mind of the all. So, how can you bring this into practice? You meditate not on what you want, but what state of consciousness would naturally express that reality. For example, instead of I want to publish my book, hold I am a channel of expression for divine wisdom through words. The principle of correspondence. This is the second one. This one is about as above, so below, and so as within, so without. The traditional way of manifesting this one would have been to change your outer world by affirming change mentally or emotionally. And the Hermetic refinement is about recognizing that the inner and outer are reflections. You don't push reality to change. You mirror coherence across the planes. So, how to bring this into practice? You bring your inner and outer worlds into alignment. You eat, move, speak, and act as if your soul's frequency already exists in matter. When you care for your body, you are honoring the physical reflection of divine balance, not trying to fix something broken. Okay? So then we have the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The traditional manifestation would be to raise your vibration to match what you desire. Hermetic refinement says, see vibration not as emotional hype or positive thinking, but as energetic congruence. Your goal isn't to stay high vibe, but to stay true. Truth vibrates coherently. False desires create discord. How to put this into practice? Ask your heart each day, what feels coherent and alive? Ask your mind, what beliefs create contraction? Let go of goals that feel forced, that you need to have like an outcome or it needs to be happen in a certain way. Expectations around it. They are simply frequencies out of resonance with your deeper current. Okay? So sometimes whenever I'm doing those things, you can hear like some of the things that I put in there. I had all these like goals. Um, and it was feeling kind of forced. And so that's where I was kind of figuring out that maybe I'm not doing this correctly. And then we have the principle of polarity. Everything is dual, opposites are identical in nature. The traditional way of manifestation around this principle is we try to attract pleasure, abundance, and light and resist pain, lack, or shadow. This is an important one. So, the Hermetic refinement is to realize that shadow and light are ends of the same spectrum. When you embrace both, you neutralize resistance and become magnetic. So, this is how you put this into practice. When you feel pain, limitation, or frustrations, for example, um, about your health or finances or whatever you're worried about or frustrated, we tend to override this pain, this limitation, or this frustration by because we're here like what about the positivity that you need to be positive, that you need to override it, right? And it says in here, don't try to override it with positivity. Instead say, I see this pole of experience. So you 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 have to see it. You have to feel it in order to so that would be and invite it to your it says I invite its counterpart to integrate. So first this I wrote here, instead of saying I see this pole of the experience, I invite its counterpart to integrate. So you see it and you feel it. You acknowledge it. Because you are not manifesting away from the shadow. You are transmuting it into wisdom. So any kind of pain or negativeness, we need to be able to see it. We need to be able to feel it before we can transmute it. And that's a very important step that I think that we forget about. And that is a lot about what this principle of polarity is. We don't realize that everything we do has these universal laws that we just don't realize it. Okay, so then now we're going to go into the principle of rhythm. So everything flows out and in. Everything has tides, right? So when we the traditional way of manifesting is we think we want continuous progress towards our goals, or else it's not happening. Like we think it's not working. So the Hermetic refinement is that we understand cycles. The universe breathes in creation and out dissolution. When you're in a quiet or non manifesting phase, it's the contraction that precedes a new expansion. So just look at it as that. You can practice it by moving with your natural rhythm. Rest when you feel called. Act when you feel inspired. Don't force manifestation during an inward tide. Instead, honor that integration and gestation are sacred phases of creation. Yeah, I think you need to do that. Like there's sometimes that when I have noticed that when I get frustrated or I get upset about something and then or something didn't happen or something isn't going right and I need time to like feel it, integrate it, transmute it, that kind of thing. But I also need time to, what my mother used to say was, you can have your pity party, Robin. So I allow myself to have a little bit of a pity party. And then I just pick myself back up and move on. So this could have something to do with this like principle of rhythm, where everything flows like the waves going out and in with the tide. I don't know. So don't beat yourself up if you're in a resting time, in a non-manifestational time. Just remember that if you can just honor that integration and gestation that you're in, are sacred phases of creation. So then we have the principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. In the traditional way of manifestation, we think our thoughts are the cause of our results. With the Hermetic refinement, you are not a victim nor merely a thinker. You are a conscious initiator of causes across planes. Every cause begins in subtle energy, not mental intention alone, but soul intention, emotional coherence, and embodied action. How can you practice this principle of cause and effect? You set your intentions not as wishes, but as causal frequencies. For example, may every word I speak today ripple coherence into the collective. Or, may my body's healing express the harmony of creation itself. You are being the cause that naturally creates the effect. Okay, so now we're on to the seventh principle, which is the last one, which I never really understood, but I'm understanding it in this way. The principle of gender. Gender is everything. Masculine and feminine exists on all planes. The traditional way that we manifest is that we often use masculine will and focus, visualize, affirm, and act, and it's all very like strong, right? But the true Hermetic refinement around manifestation integrates both the masculine, direct intention, clarity, structure, and the feminine, receptivity, surrender, intuition, and allowing. We can practice this by beginning our manifestation by receiving. Listen to your heart, listen to your mind, listen to your body, listen to your soul, and ask it, what does my heart want? What does my body want? What does my mind want? And what does my soul want? And then when you hear the answer of what your heart, mind, body, and soul wants, then you direct. You take the inspiration, the inspired practical steps aligned with what arises. That balance births true creation. So to use the Hermetic teachings, the Hermetic lenses, now that we're understanding them separately, into practice, you can use this as a ritual, a meditation, or journaling process. Okay, so you center your mind of the all. You sit quietly and remember, all is mind. I am within and of that mind. And then you open the four dialogues about what we just spoke about, asking your heart, asking your mind what it wants. So you ask your heart, what do you truly desire to express or experience? Then you wait for the answer. And when you listen for your answer, don't filter it into goals. Let it be energy, images, and sensations, okay? And then when you listen to your mind, you ask your mind, what understanding or learning do I seek? And you wait for the answer. And you remember not to filter into it goals. You must let it be energy, images, or sensations. And you ask your body, what do you need to feel vibrant and supported? And you wait for the answer. And try not to filter it in with the goals. Let it be energy, images, and sensations. And then you ask your soul, how may I serve the whole through my being? And listen and write your answer. You feel the coherence, what common frequency threads through all four voices. Peace, creativity, service, vitality. Those are the things that you will be asking or wanting to manifest. Instead of saying, I would like my book published, or all the things that I wrote last year about all the things that I wanted to manifest. So then you also like to speak, you can speak in a causal intention after you go through and ask your heart, your mind, and all that, what it wants. And you speak this, I am an emanation of the all, expressing as the highest frequency. May my words, actions, and creations mirror this truth in form. And then release all expectations. You don't need to make anything happen. You hold the frequency, you act when inspired, and allow rhythm and correspondence to do the rest. You get out of your own way, not by suppressing ego or controlling thoughts, but by remembering you are not doing manifestation. You are manifestation. The key is surrendering how and when results appear, trusting that the universal mind knows the pathways your smaller mind can't yet see. So that is the teaching around the Hermetic teachings and how to manifest through them. So in the past, when I worked with the Flower of Grid for the 1111, this portal that I showed you, this not portal, this the grid. In the past, when I worked with this grid, I would write down what I wanted to attract, specific outcomes, things I hoped would happen. But over time, I realized I was still trying to make creation happen from the outside in. I was asking the universe to give me something instead of realizing that I am part of the universal mind itself, the very consciousness through which creation expresses. The Hermetic teachings remind us that manifestation begins not with desire, but with correspondence and vibration. As within, so without. So this year, I am going to do my ritual with my Flower of Life grid as a map of consciousness, a living geometry that mirrors the layers of my being, and see if anything changes. If each six outer petals will representing a key aspect of alignment, and the center point is where those energies unify and activate. So I began slowly by listening, and I did this the other day. I'm gonna get my little pieces of paper out. I began slowly, and I asked what I rather than asking. So I began slowing down and listening, and rather than asking, one by one, I moved through the six inner conversations, the six petals that are going to go on the outside, that bring my whole being into coherence. And so I started by asking my heart what I desire. Okay? So the first question I asked is to my heart. What do I truly want to express? Not what I want to get, but what I long to give or embody. The heart always reveals the essence, the vibration that wants to flow through me. And this is what I got it from my heart. I'm going to read it out to you. My heart desires to experience living fully free, in deep communion with all that is, and to feel my connection with every living being. I wish to awaken each day vibrant, alive, and flowing, embodying the creative energy of the now. So I'm going to go through this and I'm going to actually put all this on my grid while I'm talking to you. So I've got it all written down. You can't really see the words. It's not coming up for some reason on but it's written here, what I just wrote. I'm going to place it onto the first spot. And I have a corresponding crystal. I got all these crystals when I was out, walking and stuff. This one I got in Dingle. This one has quartz points into it. Here we go. So I'm going to place this one on the spot for the heart. Okay. And then the mind. Okay. So my mind is open, receptive, and expansive. I welcome guidance, insights, and understanding that stretch my consciousness and deepen my awareness. So which way will I go? So be clockwise, right? So we're going to go around, start up here, the heart, and I'm going to go, this is the way the clock goes, right? Yeah, clockwise. So I'll pick another one. I'll show you the one I got. Isn't it pretty? These are milky white quartz. They're almost like liquid light. Okay, so my body. My body is a vessel of light, harmonized at this optimum frequency. Each cell vibrates with balance, vitality, and radiates energy naturally, aligning in perfect flow. I put that into this spot. I pick another one. This one's pretty too. I got that one in Dingle, I think. Okay. Then we have my soul radiates its light freely through me. I embody remembrance of my infinite multidimensional nature. In living as light, I naturally awaken and uplift others, anchoring ever expanding frequencies of love and creation on earth. Put that there. This one's really white. Okay, so now we're going into the causal intentions. And then only after listening to the first four inner voices do I move to the fifth petal where I speak causal intentions, okay? I don't say I want this, I say I am this, okay? I'm not trying to call something to me. I'm acknowledging that what already exists within the universal mind that I know now choose to express through me. So this is what I came up with. I am an emanation of the all, expressing as the highest frequency that is the best for all. May my words, actions, and recreations mirror this truth in form. Offer your intention with humility and love. There's that one. I'm going to put this one, this crystal onto it. It's getting heavy. Okay. So then the releasing the expectations. This sixth petal is perhaps the most powerful. It's where I let go. This is where I release the how and the when and surrender control to divine order. I remember the Hermetic principle of rhythm, that every creation has its tide. My work is to stay aligned. The universe determines the form and the timing. Okay? So I don't need, this is what I wrote. I don't need to make anything happen. I hold the frequency, act when inspired, and allow rhythm and correspondence to do the rest. I put it there onto that spot. And voila! I got the last one. I'm going to set it down for a second because so the seventh point is the activation and alignment point, okay? The center of the grid. And at the very center, the seventh point is where the grid comes alive. This is where all six petals merge into unity and the whole pattern will begin to kind of spin, right? Um, Energetically. It represents the movement of creation, the pulse of the all, the moment when intention becomes living energy. Okay? And so when the grid comes together, it's not that I'm feeling like it's going to come together and spin when I put this on energetically into place. It's not that I'm sending energy outward. It's that I become coherent with the universe itself. I'm no longer manifesting for something, I'm manifesting as something, as the consciousness of creation remembering its own design. So when I place the middle stone on, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so before I place the middle stone on, I would like to tell you about this stone. It's a very special stone that I found a little while ago, a few months ago. I was with some friends for a weekend and I did a lot of things. I ended up clearing a whole bloodline of trauma and narcissism and of SA trauma and narcissism. And it went through like the female line and let's just say with my friends who were there to help me, my friends that do shamanic practices and things, they came and we went to a stone circle and which was actually a stone circle that I was going to have when we did the retreat in 2024, but that didn't happen. And I kept feeling called back to this special circle. This circle was to me all about the divine feminine, and it was like the birthing. It was like a birthing circle for it just had that kind of energy in it. And I kept getting called back to this every year for 3 or 4 times I've been called back to this, and it just so happened that that weekend that I spent with my friends, I ended up clearing this big lineage line and I ended up birthing in something huge. Like first I let go of all of that bloodline trauma all the way back to my original DNA blueprint back to the time when I lived in Lemuria as Alana, my aspect, whom I channel a lot. um, And when I was there with my friends, I'm trying to say things without limiting anybody else. Mr. Scratchy Scratchy the carpet has come in. He doesn't want me to talk about that. I think, what can I talk about with it? Anyways, so let's just say there was a lot of releasing. A white phoenix came down. Everything was cleared. There was a big, huge chakra alignment. And then my aspect Alana from Lemuria came in. My little chakra Alana. Hello, Mr. Scratchy Scratchy. Come on, no, no, no. Stop doing that, Neo. No, there's no need to do that to the carpet. My carpet's gonna be, there's gonna be no carpet left by the time he kind of digs the carpet. Um, he loves to do that though. What are you doing? Okay. You're done now, scratchy, scratchy in the carpet. So it was a very powerful activation that happened. Alana came forward and she held her hands out to me. And I never saw so much light as I saw. Like it was a light that if you were using your own eyes, that you would be blinded by it. And um, she told me to hold her hands, like she held her hands and hold onto her hands, and then she started infusing my Lemurian, my original light codes, my original like frequency into me, and then she told me that I am a divine multidimensional being of light and that I'm the creator of my own reality and I need to go create my own reality, and some pretty like strong light language came through, and it was very powerful. And um after that I went back to where we were staying and it was almost time for me to leave, and there was this rock that was sitting by the river, just sitting there. And it was kind of, didn't look like anything special. It was kind of coming from this direction I could see it from. And I just picked it up and I turned it around and I saw there was like a whole cave of crystals inside of here. There's like crystal points. I don't know if you can see it in the video. There's crystal points, and then there's like a person sitting here, and there's all kinds of crystalline points inside of there. And it also, if you looked at it from one direction, it looked like the head of a cobra. And then if you looked at it at a certain direction, it looked like a dragon, a head of a dragon with his mouth. I don't know how to get it to be like that. And then there was also looked like a shark to me. There was a one thing, it looked like a shark. And I sat with it, and I had been being told for a long time that I will go into some kind of inner earth cave, and there I will learn, but I will only be able to go when my body becomes crystalline to the stage where I can handle doing this, and where my body can handle it without being blown up. So I feel like this is like the key to all of that. So you've got they're showing me representing my crystalline state, and then when I do that, I can enter the cave. And so I wanted to use this one as my activator for this grid today. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place it on the grid. I'm going to have to turn the camera back down. Oops. The grid up here like I had, and turn this back down so you can see this. Okay. And place it here. And so that is my 1111 manifesting ritual. And I did it here right in front of all of you. And so what I'm going to do is I will leave this here in my office. I'm going to set it down now. I'm going to leave this here in my office for the rest of the year. I actually put it, I have a clear, you see the clear dome. It's like a cake top thing. I put that over the top of it so that the dust doesn't get all over my crystal grid. Okay, let's see if I got this the way I want it. There we go. So the new way isn't about filling the grid with wishes or outcomes. It's about aligning the planes of being, heart, mind, body, soul, into one resonant field. When that coherence is achieved, manifestation becomes inevitable because the inner and outer realities are vibrating in harmony. The flower of life then becomes more than a tool. It becomes a mirror, a reflection of the divine order that's already within us. And from that space, creation flows naturally, not as something we chase, but as something we allow. And for me, the 1111 portal is more than a symbolic date. It's an energetic reminder to pause and realign with what truly matters. It's a time to check in with myself, to ensure that what I'm manifesting is rooted in authenticity, love, and purpose. And when I sit before my flower of life grid, surrounded by crystals and intention, I feel connected to something timeless. The quiet knowing that creation begins within, and from that space of clarity and devotion, the rest naturally unfolds. So before I share with you today a message, I want to explain what was happening when it came through. So I have a channeled message that I brought through while I was in the forest. Now this message happened to be a message that I channeled through in 2022, I think it was. But it goes exactly with this, okay? It goes exactly with about manifestation. So I wanted to bring it through. So before I share it, I just want to kind of give you a context so you know. I had drawn a card from my Lemurian Oracle Star Child Oracle deck. I'm gonna get that card out. So it was this card, the Divine Feminine. I'm not sure if it comes out very well. Okay. And it spoke about taking action in a quieter, more fluid and intuitive way. And shortly after, my Lemurian Priestess aspect Alana, which is the one that I also just described to you, that came to me when I did that big, huge bloodline recalibration, release, and birth. I birthed in my Lemurian DNA before all of that trauma, before all of the trauma lines, or the before all the trauma changed my DNA from all the lineages of all that trauma. And I went back and Alana came in and that's what she was doing. She was giving me that. Um, she appeared in a channeling and she showed me how to use this etheric bow and arrow set that I had been gifted months earlier during one of my astral travel journeys to the Dragon's Lair. I often go to the Dragon's Lair. That's how I was gifted the emerald tablets to be able to understand them. The same thing with this bow and arrow set that I got and didn't know what to do with it until this channeled message came through. I often receive symbolic gifts like this when I go to the Dragon's Lair, and they're tools from Spirit whose purpose becomes clear only in divine timing. I don't always understand them. In this case, it took several months to understand how to work with this bow and arrow. And when Alana returned, her message revealed its deeper meaning, a teaching on how to manifest in the new divine feminine way, one of grace, trust, and co-creation with the flow of life. So I'm going to go ahead and share this channeled message with you.
Ayana Kaya, this is the crystal child, my crystal child. Her name is Alana. Ayana Kaya, Ayana Kia, she is a crystal child. Ayana Kia, Ayana Ko, she is my aspect from back in the times of Lemuria. Ayana Kaya, Naya, Liano, she would like to talk to us today. O Lakaya Nakaya, Oya Nakaya Nua, Ayaya Nakaya Nua, Ayanatiana, Oya Nakoya Nakana, Nakana, Yanati, Anakaya Nu. She's saying, Yanaka, Yanakuya Naya, Lianaya, Koya Naya. She's talking about the card that I brought at the beginning. She's showing me the divine feminine card that I pulled up at the beginning. And she's saying that the time is changed. where one does not have to constantly be active. Ayanakai. They do need to be active, but not in an aggressive way, where they're going and they're trying to make things happen and going up against, I gotta fight, gotta do, saying that time is gone in our world. That's more of a masculine kind of trait, and the Divine Feminine wants to come in and help. So the Divine Feminine would like to come in and help us find our different flow. When we are looking to make changes in our life, for instance, they're giving me the example of when I was younger and I decided that I needed to lose weight, and I went very drastic and I took this deep action to go so deeply into starving myself and exercising like you wouldn't believe. And they're showing me that there is a balance in this. There is an opposite to this. You don't need to work so hard to get what it is that you need in this world. Ayana kayanaya yanatua. Ayana hiako ayana kanataya uyanati. Akayana oyonoya anaya ka uyanakaya. Drop it down into your heart when you're trying to make decisions, when you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. Anakayana. Anakayana. And they're saying to look at what it is that you need. Take a deep breath, pull it down into your heart, and assess what it is that you're looking to place your arrow on. And then they're giving us this arrow. It's a sacred arrow with a heart around it. And they're asking us to take this arrow, to take a deep breath, and throw this arrow out towards the direction of what it is that you're looking to do. So if you're looking, for instance, for me, if you're looking to have a target weight loss and how to get to where you need to go, they're showing me to take this arrow and throw the arrow out to the target and trust that it goes to exactly the point it needs to be. And then do not worry about how you're going to get to that location, to that point, to where the arrow was. This arrow is pointed. You have put the arrow out into the direction. You have put out to the world what it is you want to do. For instance, me, I need to lose a certain amount of weight to be healthy. So they're asking us to put the arrow out into just let it go out towards the direction of what your goal is. And then take a more feminine approach. Slow it down. And when you take action in a non-aggressive way. And you will find that you will achieve the results you need to achieve a lot easier. And it'll be more in flow. Ayana ayana anati ayana oyana yakai. Onakai anai onati anai ayanu ayanu ayanata ayayanako ayanaya ayatoya ayanu ako ayaneyanaya ayani ayano. Throw it out, let it go. Ayalayana ayaliyano ayaniya ayanayako. So this is the message that they have here today. They're showing me that I am giving examples in my own personal life, but you may be going through something different. So anything that you're going through, anything that you need to make decisions on, drop it down in your heart. Take the sacred arrow and throw it out in a calm way towards your destination. And trust that that destination is the right destination for you. Allow it to flow. Allow yourself to take flight and open yourself up like a caterpillar. Like a caterpillar, dear ones. They're showing me a caterpillar inside the cocoon. And they're showing me the caterpillar and how it's getting ready to take flight. So when you're dropping it down into your heart, it's like when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon. Before it's ready to take flight, it needs rest. It needs to, first the caterpillar eats, and then the caterpillar puts itself into the cocoon. And as soon as it is ready, it just simply cracks open the cocoon and takes flight. Be the butterfly, be the caterpillar, and drop it down into your heart. This is the message, dear ones, for today.
So after I listened back to this transmission and everything that I learned here, so I was guided to take everything taught today and create an astral travel journey meditation to help those watching this information, because it could be deep and non-understanding, embody the teachings around manifestation, showing how when approached in a gentle, non-forceful way, sometimes even better results arise. I created this meditation to honor the 1111 portal of 2025. But the message is timeless and can be used again and again whenever you wish to manifest something in your life. So I hope you enjoyed this talk today, and I will return another day with a new message. For now, I will say goodbye and invite you to experience the journey. If you are driving or in a place where you cannot fully let go, I suggest waiting until you are somewhere safe and still. I will also put this meditative journey up for those who would like to experience this without having to listen to the whole talk. So it'll be separate and it'll be located in my library of spiritual tools on my website. So if you want to check all that out, everything will be in the links below. So definitely check that out and avail of all of that. That's always there. And I have a lot of free things that I put up on my website for people, free tools and meditations and energy procedures and all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and delve into it and enjoy that. In the meantime, I will see you the next time. Sending you much love and much light. And enjoy your 1111. Welcome to an Astral Manifestation Journey Meditation, the Flower of Life and the Silver Bow and Arrow. This meditation can be used anytime you want to manifest using the Hermetic Lens way of manifesting. If you are driving or in a place where you cannot fully let go, I suggest waiting until you are somewhere safe and still. Take a deep breath in, slow and steady, and exhale gently. Allow yourself to soften your body, your mind, and your spirit. With every breath, feel yourself become lighter, as though floating upward on waves of golden light. You drift through starlit space, peaceful, infinite, until you sense a warm glow ahead. This light welcomes you. It feels like home. You arrive in a vast realm of pure energy, a place between worlds, where thought becomes creation. Before you stretches a luminous flower of life pattern etched into the ground, glowing softly beneath your feet. It's enormous, a living mandala made of light. Each circle hums with subtle energy, and as you gaze at it, you feel your heart gently expand. This sacred pattern is your creation field, a mirror of your soul's design. It holds 6 outer points encircling one radiant center. Tonight, you will fill each of these 6 points with a clear intention, shaping your energy for the path ahead. In your hand, you find 6 small orbs of light, each representing a different aspect of your being. You'll be placing one at each point around the flower of life. Take your time with each one, breathing in love into every placement. We step to the first circle, the first point, representing your heart's desire. And ask yourself, what do you truly desire to express or experience? Could it be love, peace, connection, courage? Whatever it may be, try not to filter it into goals. Let it be energy, images, or sensations. Let that feeling crystallize, and then place the first orb into the circle, the first point, representing your heart's desire. It glows with the frequency of your heart's truth. Let's move on to the second point, the next circle, representing the mind's clarity. Ask your mind, what understanding or learning do I seek? Perhaps it's insight, balance, or new wisdom. Remember to try not to filter it into goals. Let it be energy, images, or sensations. Now place the second orb here at the second point, representing the mind's clarity. A spark of brilliant, clear light. Now step to the third circle, the third point, representing the body's well-being. And ask yourself, your body, what do you need to feel vibrant and supported? Could it be health, movement, nourishment, rest? Breathe it in. And remember to try not to filter it into goals. Let it be energy, images, or sensations. Now place this orb on the third point, representing the body's well-being, and imagine it pulsing with vitality. We move to the fourth circle, the fourth point, representing the soul's calling, or your collective purpose. Ask your soul, how may I serve the whole through my being? See the answer rise from within. A symbol, a word, a knowing. Try not to filter it into goals. Let it be energy, images, or sensations. Now place the orb in the fourth point. Represent the soul's calling, your collective purpose, and let it radiate deep, golden light. We now move over to the fifth circle, the fifth point, representing how you speak a causal intention or think of the greater web of life. Speak a causal intention by repeating after me. I am an emanation of the All. Expressing as the highest frequency that is the best for all. May my words, actions, and creations mirror this truth in form. You can now offer your intention with humility and love and place the orb here in the fifth point. Glowing with unity. And we now move to the sixth and final outer circle, the sixth point, representing releasing expectations and outcomes. And release any expectations or outcomes by repeating after me. You don't need to make anything happen. You hold the frequency. Act when inspired. And allow rhythm and correspondence to do the rest. Place this sixth final orb into the sixth point, releasing all expectations and outcomes. A light of focused creation. Now, look around. All 6 points shimmer with your intentions. From your heart to your mind, to your body, to your soul. For the collective and personal purpose. Spoken with causal intention and releasing all expectations and outcomes. Each one alive, humming in harmony. At the very center of the grid, a gentle pulse of light calls you inward. Step into the center. And as your foot touches the core, you feel everything, every intention link together, forming one complete design. And the flower of life begins to spin slowly rising from the ground, its pattern floating before you like a living sun. It turns sideways, glowing brighter, holding the energy of all you've set into motion. Like a target hovering over you. From the radiant light steps the Lemurian Star Mother, serene, timeless, and loving. She carries a silver bow, carved from ancient wood, shimmering with symbols of starlight. Its string is woven from the unicorn hair, singing with the vibration of seventh-dimensional light, strength, clarity, and integrity. She places the bow gently in your hands and meets your gaze. This is the instrument of your focus and trust, she whispers to you. Your intentions are alive within the spinning grid before you. Aim from your heart and know that your arrow carries light itself. You lift an arrow, pure light, weightless and bright, and place it on the string. You breathe in, feeling every intention align. The 6 circles glowing in front of you, the grid spinning before you. And on your exhale, draw the string back. And focus on the center of the flower of life. And release. The arrow flies, striking the heart of the grid in a burst of light. A wave of energy ripples outward, gentle, powerful, complete. The flower of life slowly settles into stillness, hovering for a moment before dissolving into starlight. You hear a whisper. It's done. You have set your creation in motion. Now live, trust, and let life unfold. Take a deep breath, feeling gratitude for this act of creation. Your heart is open, your mind clear, your body calm. Begin to return, carrying the knowing that your intentions are anchored and alive within the great design of the universe. Breathe yourself gently back to the room. Feel your physical body again. And when you're ready, Wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes. The flower of life now lives within you, a map of your own energy field. You've placed your intentions into the pattern of creation itself. Trust the unfolding. Your only task now is to walk through your days in alignment with what you've set in motion. Open-hearted, steady, and filled with light.